What's up, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of the Sit Down. As always, if you enjoy this video, please make sure you hit the like button and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, if you're new around here, you just haven't done it yet, you're living in a rock and seeing this video for the first time, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button below now so you never miss another Sit Down video. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are live and here for another couple very interesting organized crime topics. And I wanted to kind of do a little Sunday show here, just kind of talk about some things, one of which has been going on for the last month or so. And I also wanted to kind of follow up on a video that I put out yesterday and really just kind of further analyze the raw deal that Frank Loc actually received and the constant really obsession by the federal government to anyone associated with John Gotti to throw the book. And really the kind of wild, I know we don't actually ever talk about the fact that the government hated John Gotti so much they were willing. And I guess my question in all this is, with when we look at someone like Sammy Gravano, has the government been willing to forgive that many capital crimes allegedly than they did with Sammy Gravano? I mean, think about what they gave up to get Mr. Gravano, and then to get him to flip and to get Gotti down the downturn. But I really wanted to talk more about Loc because I thought he got a really raw deal. And we look at someone like Bobby Manna, who is still in prison and really in a similar situation to Frankie Loc. Bobby Manna puts out a hit on John Gotti and Gene Gotti, and to this day, he still sits. Now, no one actually died, and it's just a question of, why are we giving some people conspiracy to commit murder? We're giving them life. Then some people are doing something where someone actually gets killed, but if they're willing to admit to it, they get 7, 10, 12 years. It's just a wild thing. But I really wanted to talk about a few things here. As always, I welcome you in. If you're enjoying the show, please say hello in the chat box. This is live. I was going to maybe start doing these as more of like recorded videos. I also wanted to mention one thing I'm going to start doing over the next month or so is I'm going to do 5 lists, okay? And I'm going to pick 3 people out of each 5 family. And I want to talk about the most powerful people that were not bosses, the most, kind of remembered gangsters, if you will, the guys that possess power, the guys that made, tons of money, just guys that were transcendent in mob history as far as in all 5 families. So if you're here, say hello. If you'd like to donate to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. All you have to do is hit the little $sign in the super chat. Also, become a member. I notice people are doing the member things, and they should. I definitely plan, though, if we get enough members, I was actually planning on doing some things that really behoove you. So like doing videos for people that are more personalized as far as things they want to see. I want to give out merch to people, do giveaways, things like that. So by being a member, I want to give back to the people. So if you'd like to become a member to the channel, if I can get, let's just say if I can get 50 people, I am going to do some sort of, kind of different contests and giveaways and giveaway merch and different things to the people. It's not just going to be something you sign up for and you don't get anything out of it. So if you'd like to do that, feel free to show love to the channel. All right. Let's say hello to some people here. El Dorado, how are you, brother? Cinnamon Muff, what's up? Jade Walk, what's up? What's going on, brother? Steven Sanderson, how you doing, man? Dave, what's up, brother? How are you? Chris Brown, famed pop singer. Love Chris Brown. Shout out to Chris Brown. Great video on Frankie Loc. It's really messed up what the feds did to him. Yeah, it is. And that's kind of where I wanted to start today. If you haven't seen my video on Frank Loc, I urge you to go check that out. I've noticed there aren't a ton of videos on Frank Loc, and I felt it was pertinent to put something out. There's not a ton of info about him, really. I had to really kind of delve for some things. I found, as I said, I found a really interesting piece that the family did when he passed away. They put him in a carriage, and they walked him around his old neighborhood, and it was really moving, I thought. I had to kind of search high and low for certain things. And I found a really interesting blog post by someone that, at LCM Bios that kind of detailed the fact that, he had been made in the 50s, which you don't hear that much, right? You hear people like Fat Andy and different people in the Gambino crowd. But that's a long time, basically 40 years connected to the mafia. And, you kind of wonder, how we always hear about Gravano and Gotti as far as that ruling panel, but we don't really hear much about Frankie Loc. And, I ended up finding this interview that this guy, Rich Mancuso, did, who had lived in the Bronx. He was a lifelong guy, a sports reporter, and he had mentioned that Frankie and Joe Loc were very important in the neighborhood back in the day. And, I think when we look at him, you look at the charges he got, right? Racketeering, RICO. There were no murders. There was, there was a murder, but he wasn't directly involved. And look, down the road, I guess Sammy Gravano got a heart and decided to say, you know what, he wasn't involved. But it kind of defeats the fact of why didn't you say that initially? And I think that's one thing about Sammy that we have to wonder about, right? But we look at the fact that Locascio got basically did 30 plus years in prison and died there for something that he wasn't even involved in. And we have to wonder, how does the judge continue to not only allow that, but then even on a compassionate release decides, I'm still not going to allow this to happen. Even though multiple people that were also higher ups. And as I said in the video, the government contends that due to the fact that Frankie Loc was a higher up and an advisor to John Gotti, he had a duty as a person to speak up and prevent the murder of Louis DeBono. Now, as we remember, John Gotti was a control freak and killed DeBono because DeBono didn't report to a meeting, which was ridiculous. But that's the kind of guy John Gotti was. That said, like I said in the video as well, it's fascinating to me that that's the reasoning you give. Like, these are regular people. Okay, all of us, for the most part in this chat, would try to prevent a murder if we were presented with it. We would, do what we had to do, right? But these are gangsters, right? The letter of the law is if you break the rules, you die. It is a criminal subsect, basically. We're not dealing with Boy Scouts here. We're not dealing with peacekeepers. We're not dealing with, we're dealing with people that kill each other if they disobey rules, and that's the letter of the law. And again, even if Frank Locascio does that, what's going to happen to Frankie Loc? He's going to be killed because he's going against his boss. Remember, Gotti was above Locascio. It's not like Locascio was above him. If that were the case, Locascio could have said, no, you're not killing him. I order you to not kill him. And then if he broke the rule anyway, Locascio could have him killed. But if I'm arguing, if I say anything, I'm dead. That's not that Loc's going to do that because he was never going to talk to the federal government. But it's just kind of fucked up in a way. And we look at the fact of the government is willing to forgive someone that now I've always said this. I don't actually believe Sammy Gravano killed 19 people. But let's just say he killed a few, 3 or 4. You're still willing to forgive an individual that killed multiple people just because you hate someone more than him. And it's really fascinating. And I kind of ask, has the government went to those lengths against any gangster in history to bring him down? No, no, not really. And that's the growing sentiment. If you're around John Gotti, and, Locascio was dead right in his statement. He got life because he was connected to John Gotti. It's that simple. It did not warrant dying for. It did not warrant. Look, I can understand you want to give the guy 10, 20 years, fine. But life without parole? I mean, there's much proof that he was not involved with the hit at all. Multiple people have said he was not there, just because he was in a room when someone was talking who was a fucking constant blabbermouth. It's just a wild situation, really. Right. Sal Muccio, what's up, my friend? How are you? I've seen you commenting a lot. You're a good man, Sal Muccio. Thank you for being here, bro. It's clear that you enjoy the channel. Jason B, how are you, bro? 130 people in here. What's up, everybody? Hit that like button. Support the channel if you'd like to. and become a member. Show some love. We've got football on here. No Eagles today, so I'm just allowing my bets to kind of play themselves out. Phillies 2:37 local time. They look to close the series out today. The Phillies look to close the series out and go to the World Series today in South Philly. Crazy. If you'd have told me that in June, I'd have told you you're nuts. Wicked Pizza. What's up, man? How you doing? Yes, thank you. And I am going to get a little bit here to the Sally Daz hit. I want to talk a little bit about that, kind of put a bow on that case. We've talked about that case as this went on. Really, it's fascinating because we go from talking about Frankie Loc, a stone cold gangster, really a guy that was like that last of Mohicans type of guy. They don't make guys like Frankie Loc anymore. And, I think on this channel, I try to always be literal, right? I don't kind of sugarcoat who these people are that we're talking about, but I had some real problems saying anything negative, which is not the goal. I think if someone's negative, you say they're negative. But I had a hard time saying anything negative about Frankie Loc from all points, whether it was people on the street, people in his family, people that were not connected to the life at all, that lived in the Bronx. Everyone and anyone that I found said nothing but glowing things about Frank Locascio. And, you go from a guy like that to, this individual, Anthony Zatola. Now, I've talked about this case. The feds contend that this individual had his own father killed, and also hired this person to kill the guy on the street, which is Anthony Zatola's brother, Sal Zatola. And notice, I want to make this clear. This guy right here, the shooter, did not kill this guy. Now, how that didn't happen, I have no idea. This individual is an incredibly poor assassin. And the fact that in this situation, now remember, this all goes very quick, but you got to give Sal Zatola some credit. I mean, incredible to get out of this somehow. Now, this is not the first time they attempted to kill these people. Sylvester Zatola, they attempted to kill 3 or 4 different times. In fact, even sliced his neck and he survived. Hit him with a face with a gun, ran in his house. They wanted him dead. And the person that put all this in motion, and he was found guilty this week, is him, his son. Now, why his son did this is a question. A lot of people believe it had to do with the fact that Anthony Zatola wanted his father's real estate, parcel, basically. And if you know anything about Sally Daz is an associate of the mafia, very involved with poker machines and things of that nature. Made a lot of money. I've detailed the fact of, if you were in that business, poker machines, you can make a lot of money. I mean, those machines are worth a ton. Let's just say if you have 100 machines, you can make a lot of money with those machines. You basically go into a bar, you split it half and half, and you can clean up. I mean, you go into the bar, and see how many people sit there and play those machines. It's pretty impressive. So yeah, the kid wanted a piece. He wanted and believed that if he hired Blood Street Gang members, they could take care of it, and that would be that. It's really a wild case. It kind of states where this world is today. People mention me all the time, when was the last mob murder? The last mob murder was Michael Meldish. The last couple of people were mobsters that were killed, but they weren't killed by mobsters. Whether it's Zatola, Frank Cali, it really doesn't matter. They're all just lunatics that are killing these guys. It's an amazing world now where this case is. Now, Mr. Zatola will likely do life now. The person that put all this in motion on the street, Bushan Shelton, pleaded guilty, got 40 years. And someone was actually acquitted of this case. The getaway driver was actually acquitted. They found out beyond a reasonable doubt that he didn't do this. He was the only person acquitted. And I've seen his interview. It's actually pretty interesting. So yeah, couple of wild stories here. This one has been kind of dragging on for a while, but and then they had this coded language, Mr. Zatola and this Shelton guy, and they were communicating as if Mr. Zatola Sr. was this, it was like a movie basically. It was very coded, odd. Gray Jedi, what's up? Buddha Bing, thank you, brother. That's very nice of you. What's up, Mimo? How you doing, man? Thanks for being here. If you guys have a question, you're welcome to drop it. You're welcome to ask anything. Steve Cutler, how are you, Steve Cutler? I hope all is well with you, my friend. You're a good man. Thank you, Rick. Says good video always. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Carrie Staffa says great show. You should do a story on Joe Guglielmo from the DeMeo crew. Did he really get away? I've talked about that. I've done a video on the entire DeMeo crew. You're welcome to check that out. But I won't be doing a video on Joe Guglielmo. There's not enough information on Joe, and I felt like the video I did was I think enough, frankly. Do I think he got away? No, I don't. I think he was killed. Now, Albert DeMeo claims that he drove him to the airport and never saw him again. He'd be dead by now, though. I mean, he's pretty old. He was pretty old at that point. I think he was probably in his 60s or 70s. So you figure 20 years later, it's unlikely he's still alive. Do I think he lived his life somewhere else? No, I don't. I think he was probably killed by somebody in that crew. Paul Mulvey, what's up? How you doing? Jeff, great to join the discussion. Thank you for being here, man. D Mills, some good football today. Love the video about Bill Catolo. Thank you, man. Yeah, I've done some good work on Catolo. I've done a show on Wild Bill. We interviewed Bill Jr. recently. You can check that video out on the channel. Jared Kalichi says, Jeff, question. What inspired you to be passionate about the mafia? I appreciate it because I've learned a lot listening to you over the last few months. Thanks. Well, that's great. Thank you, man. What inspired me? I don't know. I just always have had an interest in mob stuff. I remember, I was a kid. I think the first real kind of interest I had in it was 1999 when The Sopranos came out. And I've talked about this before. My mom and dad were big Sopranos fans, watched it from 99 until the finale. And I remember I was only 10 at the time. And Sopranos will come on at 9 o'clock. So, I was kind of in my room as a kid. But I remember I used to sit outside of the room and watch it. I was fascinated by it. I was always kind of a bit older as far as a kid than my age. I was always thinking about stuff that, a kid my age shouldn't be thinking about. I've talked before, when I was a kid, I used to watch the Weather Channel, the History Channel. I never watched cartoons. That wasn't my thing. I was always a bit older than I was. And to this day, I enjoy hanging out with people older than me. I don't really relate a lot to immature behavior, quite honestly. I do what I have to do with the company I work at, but I prefer in my personal life really to just kind of, be more grown. I like to read. I like, I'm interested in religion and history and things of that nature. But I guess I've just always been fascinated by crime. Not sure why, but yeah, I don't know if I can pinpoint one thing. And then look, then when I got a little older, I started researching things and I started looking into it, and I think there's always a fascination with certain places where certain people may control certain places, and it's kind of interesting to me. I don't know if I say I'm inspired by anything. I just enjoy it, and it turned into something that I like, and it turned into something that other people like to hear, and now we're here. So, you know, film, TV, movies, that sort of thing. What's up, Tim Leary? How you doing, bro? What's going on? Thanks, buddy. What's up, Paul? Sammy Gravano is a snake for what he did. Snitching is one thing, but not saying the truth is another level. Yeah, agreed. And that's the thing. I mean, we've seen Sammy, he's a guy that the government was willing to forgive a lot for. Look, they're willing to forgive murders. He gets 5 years. He gets a new lease on life and goes out and sells drugs. And now he's, it's almost sad though to watch. Again, I watched that funeral procession with Locasio. Guy never wavered, was who he was. And I think there's something you can respect about that, right? And as we see this other guy who, I guess just played the right game and he ultimately won, but he's done a lot of shit during the way to get there. Sammy lied about that kid too, blamed it on a dead guy confidently. Yeah, you're talking about Alan Kaiser. Yes, that's another thing. I mean, remember, Sammy Guevara killed a child, a teenager. That's something we can't. We he doesn't seem to talk about it much, but it is important. And listen, I've made attempts to interview Sammy Guevara. I'll be honest. Okay. I've contacted his people. I've sent them, they asked for stuff that I've done. I've sent them that. Haven't heard back. Um, I think that's the question with some of these guys. And that's why like people like Catolo and Fiordolino and guys like that, like I respect them in one way. They're willing to talk to me, which I think is cool. You know, if you're someone that's on the internet, but you will not talk to certain people because you don't want to answer certain things, we can't hear about how you're all about willing to talk and that sort of thing. There's a lot of people, and they're not just informants. There are people on here that don't want to talk about things in general, but they're willing to spew nonsense all the time. But you won't come on and speak to somebody that's educated in this shit. You just want to get down and dirty with people that, you know, really just get down and dirty with you. There's no real dialogue. It's just fighting. I want to have an interview with all these people, you know, and I want to ask them about this stuff. That's really what I want to do. I don't want to just fight. I don't like or dislike Sammy Guevara. I would just like to speak to him about stuff that no one's really asked him about. Um, and look, I'm willing to fly out there. I'm willing to do all this on my own. All I need him to do is say yes. And he is, I wouldn't say he's declined, but I have not heard from his people. And it's not because I don't look, I work for Barstool. I have a podcast with Barstool. I have the clout. Okay. It's not that I'm some little show. Now he's a bigger show than me for sure. But I think when you look at doing perspective shows with other people, it's how does this benefit us both? Right. So I always liken it to um, like I never understood why content creators that are on the same level don't do That's what I love about like Vlad TV, Patrick Bet David, Joe Rogan. Like Bet David goes on with Joe Rogan. Like they collab together because those two voices talking about one subject is fascinating, right? So like with me, I always want to speak to Scott Bernstein and RJ Roger, and I've asked OC Shorts. I've asked him to come on multiple times. Um, and I think, you know, for us, I think we could both help each other because I think there's probably a lot of people on my Barstool platform that don't know who OC Shorts is that could be exposed to his channel. And I think there's people that don't know me that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all about helping each other out. Because if we're all strong, this genre is strong. And this genre needs a real injection, strong voices. And that's what I've talked about with people like Mikey Scars, for instance. That is new content that we don't have that's being injected into the genre. It's important. Thank you, Kerry. I don't know if he talks BS. I mean, he's just talks about his history and he tells his stories. It's the jacket. What's up? It's the jacket. That's a great scene. Good, great name, great picture. Christopher Capello, how are you, brother? Welcome in. William, what's up? The boss is the boss. Frankie couldn't say shit. Absolutely, absolutely. John DeGrazia. Hi, Jeff. Hey, John. How are you? What's up, man? Thank you. Same to you. My honest opinion on the defendants in that trial is Gotti and Gravano were as bad as each other. The one I felt for was Frankie. He didn't deserve what he got. That's for sure. No, he didn't. You're 100% right. Gray Jedi, Marquise Williams. What's up, Marquise? Hey, Jeff, are you going to do a show on Sam the Plumber DeCalvacanti from New Jersey? Yes, absolutely. That's a good one. I will do him very soon. I might do a full podcast on him. Maybe John Riggy as well. Jonathan Jorgensen, love from Denmark. What's up, John? How are you? Love Denmark. What a beautiful country that is. Shout out to you. I'm sure you live a terrific life. What a beautiful and safe country Denmark is. By the way, people have asked me, what am I looking up at? So guys, I have a TV literally right above me. It's literally 3 feet away. It's very close, right on the wall. So, and I have the desk facing the wall, and it's against the wall, so I'm looking right up. I have it up on the wall. I have the Titans first half, which should hit, barring some sort of ridiculous bad beat. What's up, JC? How you doing, buddy? Only 29 likes. Stop being a fake supporter and give Jeff likes. Yes, stop being a fake supporter. Become a member or donate to the channel, guys. Listen, guys, I'm fascinated by you folks because who gives away money like me? Nobody on this mob stuff. I try to give back to you guys. I'm not a rich man. I try to give back to you. You guys got to support the channel, guys. That's the goal, man. Content creators are people too. We deserve to be treated that way. I give you guys a lot of great information. And, if you like to support us, at least hit the like button. That's important. Showing love to this channel, that's the easiest way to pay a content creator back. And you guys have done that in droves. We're up almost to 27,000 subs. We have tens of thousands of views on videos. That's what we need. But we need to keep going. I've told you guys, my dream in life, I have two dreams in content, at least at this point. My two dreams were to work for a big company in media, which I do. And two is to get 100,000 subs and get that plaque that YouTube sends you. That would be my greatest feat as a creator. Someone that started at the beginning with no audience and built my way up. And I do it from the muscle. I started with zero. And once I get to that 100K, I can celebrate. So I can't do it without you. So you got to keep showing love, keep supporting. And that's a dream that I have. I want to make it come true. Jeff, do you have an email address? Yes, I do. The sitdown777@gmail.com. The sitdown777@gmail.com. Jeff Garcia says, my Astros will see Philadelphia in the World Series. Yes, knock on wood. I don't disagree with you there. Bronx Day in here. Yes, we have talked about some Bronx stuff today. Frankie Loc, Sally Daz. That's really a sick fucking kid. He wanted to take out his brother as well. Yes, well, he's going to be doing life in prison for that little stunt. So he can enjoy prison. Danny Rezzo says, hi, Jeff. How are you? What's up, Danny Rezzo? Welcome in, buddy. Could he get the death sentence? I don't think so. I don't believe that's on the table. I believe this is just a life in prison case. He wanted his father and brother dead for money. Yeah, but he's not a mobster. That's the thing. He is not a mobster, Mr. Fugazi. Anthony Zatola is not a mobster. I don't know who Andor is. I don't know what that means. Great video on Frank. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thanks, big man. I wonder why the father Zatola wasn't made. Well, I think he was just one of those guys that was a longtime associate, was happy with who he was, had the connections to people. I don't think he wanted the target on his back. And who would? You look at Sally Daz, made a very nice life for himself. A lot of money, a lot of real estate, lived like a king, had money to give to his kids, which, when we really look at it, that's all you want out of life. Nobody messed with him for a while. You look at the end, he goes out because of his own kid. Think about that. Why would you want to worry about being made when you can just be an associate, have important? I mean, he was close to Vinny Basciano, is close to big people. No reason to be a made man. For what? You put a target on your back. Eddie Leno. We'll maybe do an Eddie Leno show at some point. Sure. Great work on the Frankie Loc show. I think you did him justice. We don't hear people talk about him a lot. No, we don't. We definitely don't. Hit that like button. Amen. Steve Cutler, you're a gentleman. Hope your family is well. Yeah, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. I appreciate that. I've talked before. I have some personal things I'm dealing with right now with some family members, but you don't always expect to go through life unscathed, right? So I thank you for that. William Milburn, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Jaguars have taken the lead against the Giants. How about that? I love the show on Frankie Loc. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, rye bread. I like a good piece of rye bread occasionally. Nice sandwich on some pieces of rye bread. Right. We have a fake Angel Gotti in here. Says, I plan on suing you a lot more than the defendant. Let it be known. Well, good. Send it over, Angel. That'll go good. Trust me. Good Barstool blogs right there. Go ahead. Obviously, that's not really her, but that would be great if she did do that. Please do. Please do. For what? I continue to ask that. What are you going to what would you hypothetically sue me for, fake angel? Like, what? So because I do a channel with the mafia and you don't like what I say, you are going to sue me? Guys, listen, there are a lot of people that just don't understand law. They don't understand real life, really. Just amazing. There's no answer as to why she's suing. I'll tell you why she wants to sue or hypothetically wants to sue because, and I know that's not her, it's a fake account, but she actually thinks in her head that if you don't talk nicely about her father, you could be sued, which is completely false. Like the delusions of grandeur some of these folks have is fascinating to me. They live in a reject world, really. And I'm talking about a few of these people. They live in another universe. I mean, think if I took what that was just said out in the street and explained to them what people would say. They would say that she's a fucking lunatic. What? Do these people live on planet Earth or do they live on fucking Jupiter? You know, you have to wonder. It's amazing. I'm fascinated by these people. Fascinated. Just hilarious. All right. Fake Angel Gotti has something else to say. She says, my father never killed anyone. He never paid the Aryan Nation. He never said the N-word. My brother never snitched. I'm sick of lies. Okay, let me break this all down. First of all, yes, your father did kill people. In fact, he's talked about it on Wiretap that he was going to kill people and did kill people. So that's not true. He never paid the Aryan Nation money. Well, first of all, it's the Aryan Brotherhood. Second of all, yes, he did because it was talked about in court under oath. He never said the N-word. Well, that's interesting because we heard on Wiretap him say the N-word. So shit out of luck there. My brother never snitched. No, he definitely did. And we have the 302s to prove it. And we could put them up on the screen if you really want it. In fact, Angel, I actually did that. You can go watch the videos. 2 videos ago I did. So we just completely dissolved your entire 4 different arguments there. If one you did leave out, though, your father had a love child with a gumata on the side named Shannon Grillo. It's interesting you don't bring that up. Another break of the rules by John Gotti Sr., the man who put all the rules out there but didn't actually follow them. Remember, folks, you never sleep with a member's wife. Her husband, Ernie Grillo, was, yeah, you guessed it, a member. So John Gotti, who had kids at home and a wife and grandkids, decided, you know what? That's not enough for me. I want to go have sex with a member's wife. And then I'm going to have sex with her. And guess what? I'm going to get her pregnant. And then when she comes and asks me for something, I'm going to act like I don't give a shit. And I got too much on my mind, even though I'm in prison and have nothing better to do with my life. Come on, guys, please. That is what we call a body bag. Love that answer. And said to my lady, you're very mature for your age. Well, thank you. Well, maybe not in the last 5 minutes, but thank you. To be honest, Sammy has 5 years left. After he cooperated, he got arrested right after that. Yeah, I hear you. Frankie Loc was a real gangster. He sure was. He sure was. All right. A lot of conversations going in here. I'm trying to kind of get through them here. Jeff, would you ever consider doing a show about the St. Louis Mafia? Really interesting stories. Love your work. Maybe we'll see. The thing is, Kevin, I've talked about this. This channel, it really is just New York Mafia based. I've tried to do shows on other families, and they just really don't get watched that much, unfortunately. Maybe we'll do something at some point, but again, this channel is about obviously telling a history, but I also want to adhere to what we do on the channel. I've tried to do other shows, and they're just not really well received. I would love to do shows on other families. I've talked about that. I want to do shows on drug dealers and cartels, but, for whatever reason, people on this channel don't really like it. Maybe I have to start another channel. I don't know. But it is what it is. I love OC Short Show. Well, good. Yeah, he's a great creator. All right. Give him 20 grand, he'll talk to you till you're blue in the face. That's true. Thank you, Loyalty. Appreciate that. All right, a lot of comments, guys. I'll get to all of them here. Bear with me. Brian Thomas, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here. You got it, War. Thank you. By the way, guys, wild news in the NFL. The Tampa Bay Bucks at halftime are down to the Carolina Panthers, the Christian McCaffrey list Panthers, the PJ Walker led Panthers. How about that? Hit the goddamn like button, bitches, or you're a putz. That's not very nice, but I agree. GPTS, love the show. I listen most days. Good information, and it's often historical, and that's time consuming. You deserve success. Thank you, GPTS. I appreciate you. Very nice comment. Do you oversee ship on merch, Jeff? Believe so. I believe so. By the way, guys, if you want to buy some merch, you want to show love to the sit down, click the link in my description. I got some merch on sale. Long sleeve, short sleeve. Check it out. Maxwell Maltz. What's up, Maxwell? Kevin Wiggins, $5 super chat. Already said this, but have a coffee on me. Any St. Louis mobsters love the content. Yep, talked about that. Thank you, Kevin Wiggins. That's very nice, brother. Thank you for contributing to the channel, man. Shetty. What's up, Shetty? Justin Mason. What's up, my brother? Don't worry, Jeff. You're going to get the 100K plaque and then the million. Just keep putting in the great work. Well, that would be great, wouldn't it? 167 people in here. Welcome in. Please hit the like button. Say hello. Don't have to be made to be a man of respect. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'll be praying for you, Jeff. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's Atola's son is a real piece of shit and deserves all that he's getting. Yes, he does. Yes, he is. Being made in the mafia is a joke nowadays. Yes. Well, in certain cases it is, but there are definitely some families still left. The father never had the makings of a varsity athlete. What? What are you talking about? What do you like? I'm not sure what you mean. How? He was very rich. He was connected, and he really didn't do any prison time. What do you mean he didn't have? That's such a weird thing to say. You mean the son? All right. All right. More info from the fake Angel Gotti. She says, my family never paid that group in prison. He never said bad race things. He never harmed anyone. My brother never cooperated. You support rats. Well, so do you, because your brother's a rat, Angel. Fake Angel, sorry. This is definitely a troll account. It's very funny, I have to say, because the things being typed are so funny that you just have to laugh. It's funny. It's almost like this troll account is trolling her, which is funny. Very funny, I have to say. He never harmed anyone. No, he never harmed anyone. John Gotti never harmed anyone. He should have been a priest. He was so good for people. Never harmed anybody. All right. I love that account. It's very funny. Very funny. Jeff, you should interview as the key turns. Yeah, I've tried to reach out to him. No answer. Gotti had a love child with the soldier's old lady in the Gambino crime family. Nice guy, follows the rules beautifully. But after Big Paul, who cares about someone's girl in the family? Yes, that's true. A blatant break of the rule as well. That's why when I have to say, when John Alite released that book, Gotti's Rules, it was a fucking great troll for that, because in the book he lists the rules that Gotti had and none of which he actually followed. Very funny. Very, very trollish if you're John Alite. I will give him that. All right. The AB extorted John Gotti after he asked him for help. Yes, and we've actually talked about that and why he did that. So was Ernie Grillo in prison when Gotti was smashing his wife, or what? Because if not, Ernie was a lame for letting that go. What was he going to do? John was like the most famous gangster on the planet. What was he going to do? He was fucked. And that's the kind of guy John was. He knew the guy couldn't do anything about it. Now, if it were me, if it were any of us, yeah, maybe we would. What's he going to do? Slap John Gotti in public? He'll be a dead man. You just got to take it. It's fucked up, I know. That's the kind of guy he was. That's why when you look at someone like Frankie Loc, like, you have to ask yourself, like, Why did he do the bidding for him? Why did any of these people do the bidding for John Gotti? I mean, they were all way more powerful and they were all way more connected. I'm always amazed that no one tried to kill him. No one. Because look, it's clear in the Gambino crime family, no one followed the rules. Carlo killed Albert Anastasia. John killed Big Paul. Why did someone kill him? Why didn't Danny Marino, Jimmy Brown, Frankie Loc, all these guys should have banded together and killed him? I'm blown away no one ever killed him. I mean, it's not like he was like, there's a difference between being a soft guy and just like someone that, respects rules and ethics. And it's like, you know what? We don't do that sort of thing. You don't sleep with a member's wife. I'm always fascinated as to why no one just killed him. Aryan Nation and Aryan Brotherhood are different groups entirely. Yes, absolutely. Completely different, and actually way different beliefs as well. There's a very important distinction that has to be made, and I've talked about this. The Aryan Brotherhood is not a white supremacist organization. They're not. And that's just a fact. They are not. There may be certain members that dislike other races and other religions, but the truth is a lot of their leadership was Jewish. I mean, look into someone called Thomas Silverstein. They're Aryan in prison. In prison, races are very important. That is where the Aryan Brotherhood name comes from. They're not a racist organization. They are not a white supremacist group. We've talked about that before. Appreciate that, War. Jeff, what do you think about America and Iran being in the same group for the World Cup? I'm really looking forward to watching that game. I think it'll be a great game. Yeah, it's going to be a great group. We got, you got England, I believe, in there as well. Should be a great group. World Cup coming up. That's right. Welcome in, Brian. Is there any mafia in Oklahoma? Not that I know of. There will be soon, though. Sylvester Stallone, new show. The Tulsa King. Has anybody seen that? But no, there's no real mob there. Do I remember the moment where I realized OC content was something you enjoyed? I don't remember it specifically, no. So did Mr. Neal have a side girl? Same scenario. No, he didn't have a side girl. I believe that was his girlfriend, her mother, Shannon Grilla's mother. How did Big Paul break the rules? Big Paul, he didn't really break the rules. I mean, he outlawed certain things. I'm not sure what you're asking. Ernie Grillo was not made at the time Gotti was with his wife, though. How do you know? Do you know the exact date he was made? I mean, I'd have to look, but that being said, I mean, it still doesn't matter. He's still a connected guy. Still something you probably don't do. And I don't think that's factual, but could be wrong. Tyler T.D. Bingham is part Jewish. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Queen's Finest says the Philly and mass mob is a joke compared to New York. Yeah, but I don't think anyone like. Are you trying to tell us something that you think we don't know? It's like, yeah, we know. I wouldn't say it's a joke, but yeah, it's not as big. I mean, I don't think anybody would disagree with you on that. I feel like Queen's Finest, you're trying to tell us something that you think we don't know or something. Not even mafia rule. Anyone with a shred of decency doesn't sleep with their friends, girlfriends, wives. Real scumbag move. Yeah, absolutely, Tony Hill. Absolutely. You're 100% right. Very lame move. Bear with me. Got to schedule my cleaning lady to come, folks. 180 people in here. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. If you like what you're seeing, please hit the like button. I'm going to stay on for another 5 or 10 minutes here. Phillies game about to start. NFL is in full effect right now. We got all the games either at halftime, past halftime, or going into halftime. Shout out to the Jags. They are leading, but it might not be for long. The Giants have the ball in the red zone. 41 seconds left, 3rd and 4. Daniel Jones with the ball. And he was not going to be sacked. No, he gets away. Daniel Jones looking, and he throws it away. G-men are going to have to settle for a field goal. Here's Aaron Rodgers with the ball. Second half. That's a pass interference. Giants 11-10 they're down. They're about to be up 13-11 though. I enjoy watching your videos from Italy, Napoli. Luigi Capasso. What's up? Pronto. What's up, my friend? You know, Luigi, I have to tell you, I am a big Neapolitan dialect guy. I'm actually, once I get some time, I'm actually going to start learning it. You know, I'm a big fan of that dialect. I think it's very interesting. So how are you, Wayu? Good to see you. Wayu! You know what that means? You know what that means, Luigi. Shout out to Luigi Capasso. Where are you from in Naples, Luigi? I feel like we're all from Naples when we watch Gomorrah, right? Secondogliano, Scampia, Forcella. I feel like we're big Napoli people now because we watch Gomorrah, right? But good to have you, Luigi. It's great to have a real Italian in here. You know, there's a lot of fake Italians in here, but good to have a real one. Why you? Good to hear from you. I think lately with all the mass ex-rats being interviewed, they sound full of themselves, like they were actually respected. Yeah, I don't know. You seem like you have a bit of an agenda, bro. Yes, they definitely should, big man. Well, I'm going to call games here. Tom Brady with the ball. He catches the ball. He's going to looking for Chris Godwin. No, incomplete. Buccaneers just cannot get anything going today. 7-0 down, 11:36 to go in the third quarter. Godwin stretched out and tried to make a acrobatic catch, but it was just too deep. Lions and Cowboys, 6-3 game Detroit. Jared Goff gets the handoff. He goes to his running back. Looks like he's going to go deep. It's picked off. Is that Trevon Diggs? Yes, it is. Trevon Diggs has picked the ball off. Jared Goff with a horrible throw into the red zone, and Trevon Diggs has picked it off. What a horrible throw by Jared Goff, former Cal Bear. What a shit throw. Trevon Diggs picks it off. And Dallas is going the other way with a chance to hopefully get some offense going. You hate to see it. The Cowboys are being stunned. Here's Aaron Rodgers, 1st and 20. $1.49 left in the second quarter. Rodgers waiting for the ball. He's counting. 1, 2. Hike, there it is. Goes quickly. Out to, who is that? Tanyan. Or no, it's Lazard. A 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4 coming up. All right, back to this. Press the button. Which button? Like button? Yes. Vins, what's up, Vins? How you doing, buddy? Back to the Titans, Indianapolis. What an easy winner with the Titans first half. Matt Ryan back, looking. Jonathan Taylor catches it, first down. Titans defense is playing well today, but not on that. What's up, Joe Root? Thanks for being here, brother. Thanks for coming. Jeremy Smith, as usual, asking about other content creators. Jeremy, you do this a lot, man. I think you're always looking to start trouble. What happened to Convict Dink? I have no idea. I haven't talked to Convict Dink in months. I didn't even know. What do you mean? What happened to him? He hasn't been on. I don't know. Maybe he's dealing with some personal problems. I don't know. I have no idea. The only people I actually communicate with, RJ. I talk to Chris Papaldacian occasionally. Lamar Jackson back looking. He's going to be sacked. Big sack from the Browns defense. Look at that. Lamar Jackson really struggling today. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I am out of here. You guys have a good day. I thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel on the way out, feel free. Hit that super chat button. Hit the like button before you go. I'm going to go watch some Phillies baseball. You guys enjoy your day. Thank you for being here on a Sunday sit down. We will talk to you again real soon. And the new video out Tuesday. So make sure you check that out. Also have a new podcast episode coming out this week with my good friend Barstool Chief. We're going to talk about Santo Trafficante Jr. Make sure you check out that video and that audio, which will be out on Wednesday. Everybody have a great day. We will see you next time. Later.